Bonjour de Paris! Hello from Paris, France. Of course, I'm in my favorite city in the whole world. And this is the mission field of Terri Savelle Foy Ministries. In fact, we have a team of ladies here with me, and by the end of this week, we will have given away 25,000 copies of our book in French, You're Valuable to God, all over the streets of Paris. We are reaching the lost with the love of God. And I want to say thank you to our partners for making this happen. We'll be ministering with Hillsong Church, teaching their leaders, teaching the church. We preached in Normandy over the weekend. I'm telling you, lives are being changed in France. Merci beaucoup. Thank you so much. So, I'm standing here by one of the most beautiful structures you've ever seen, the Eiffel Tower. The weather looks perfect. The sun's out, a little bit cloudy. It feels nice outside. It looks perfect. But do you know, since I've been in Europe, oh my goodness, we have had so many different kinds of storms. I mean, just walking along and all of a sudden a thunderstorm out of nowhere, rainstorms. One day it was freezing cold and raining. Then all of a sudden the sun would come out. I mean, we have been through all kinds of storms just since I've been here. But right now it looks perfect. Parfait, right? Well, do you know, I was thinking about that because that's what the podcast is about today. We all encounter storms. Financial storms, marital storms, family storms, career storms, physical storms. We all go through storms in life. We can't avoid that. Storms are gonna come. But I was thinking about when pilots are taught in flight school, all the way from flight school to flying the big jumbo jets, they have 3 words drilled in their brains year after year. 3 words, very profound words. Are you ready for this? These will change your life. Fly the plane. Fly the plane. That's what the pilots are taught. Flight school to flying the big commercial jets. Fly the plane. When you encounter storms, when turbulence comes, fly the plane. My 3 words would be pursue your dream, fulfill your assignment, stay focused in the storm. It's amazing because my dad, he traveled all over the world. As I was a kid, I'd see him traveling from, continent to continent, from country to country. And there were times, many times, my dad would call home and say, we've encountered some unexpected weather. We're going to have to make an emergency landing in Minnesota. But not one time did my dad ever say, girls, looks like I'm not going to be coming home. Ever. No, he eventually got back in the plane and got to his original destination. And that's what I want to ask you today. You may have encountered a storm, an unexpected turn, an unexpected challenge in your life. I want to ask you today what pilots have to ask themselves. Where were you headed before the storm hit? Where were you headed before the divorce? Where were you headed before this unexpected financial challenge hit your life or hit your business or hit your church? Where were you headed before this physical attack on your body? Where were you headed before you got pregnant unexpectedly, unplanned? Where were you headed before you lost your job? You have to ask yourself that. Where was I headed before the storm hit? And here's the thing. Get back in the plane and get to your original destination. You have to think about that for yourself. I remember years ago, my husband and I, we went on vacation in Jamaica. We're flying home. We're just happy and had the best vacation. We're getting close to Dallas-Fort Worth. A storm came out of nowhere. The pilots kept circling Dallas-Fort Worth, trying to wait for, a break in the storm so we could land the plane. Well, then they said, we're starting to run out of fuel. We're going to have to go back up to Tulsa, Oklahoma, land the plane. Well, people were freaking out. One guy was yelling, we're gonna die. And of course, I'm on the plane going, I bind those words in Jesus' name. We have Psalm 91, we have angels around us. Well, then there was another guy on the plane and he's like, hey, can we have a round of drinks? I deserve some drinks. Then there was one lady demanding to get off the plane in Tulsa and they're saying, no, you cannot get off the plane. Well, we landed in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We waited for a long time. Everybody's hot, it's sweaty, we're tired, we're exhausted. But eventually the plane took off and landed at Dallas-Fort Worth. In other words, we got to our original destination. But my point is, you may have to chart an alternate course to get to your destination. It doesn't mean you won't get there. It just may be a different way than what you had planned. You may have this amazing plan for your life. You've set your goals. You got your vision board maybe. And all of a sudden, unexpected challenges, unexpected storms hit your life, I want you to get back in the plane and get to your original destination. It may take a little longer than what you planned or what you thought. You may be exhausted, you may be tired, but get to your original destination. You know, I've shared this many times, but years ago I was at church, I was listening to John Bevere, and he just made this statement. You know, he said, when judgment day comes, and it's gonna come, when every single one of us are gonna stand before God and we're gonna give an account for our lives. He said, but when that day comes, he said, God's not gonna hold you accountable for what you did on earth. And I was a little confused, like I thought we were. He said, no, you're gonna be held accountable for what you were called to do on earth. Think about that. What you did and what you were called to do could be two totally different things. In other words, God may say, I called you to start a business. Why didn't you start the business? And you say, well, I tried, but the bank turned me down, another bank turned me down, and God says, well, why didn't you go to another bank and another bank? Because I called you to start a business. In other words, get to your original destination. Or God may say, I called you to write a book. Why didn't you write the book? And you say, well, Lord, I don't think anybody's going to read this book. No publishers are asking me for it. Nobody will buy my manuscript or produce it. God's still going to say, I called you to write that book. Get back in the plane and get to your original destination. No matter what it is, you may be believing God to get pregnant, and you've tried and tried and tried, and you feel like giving up. Don't give up on your dream. You know, it could be that you still have a baby coming. It could be that there's an adoption with your name on it. There's a baby out there with your name on it. But God's telling you today, fly the plane. Get back in the plane and get to your original destination. This storm, it may have come out of nowhere, but it doesn't change the plan of God for your life. You know, I remember when I got pregnant before marriage, 22 years old, thought I'd ruined my life. I was so mad at myself, full of shame, full of guilt. And I remember Kenneth Copeland said to me, this does not change God's plan for your life. So I'm telling you that today. This storm does not change the destination that God has for your life. So get storm ready, brace yourself, and get to your destination. If you're enjoying these podcasts, please subscribe to this channel. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter so I can keep you motivated to achieve your dreams. Thank you for watching. I believe it's one thing to have a dream for your life, but when you discover God's plan for your life, that's the icing on the cake.
It's more than a women's conference. It's a 2-day event that can change the course of your life. So make plans now to join Terri, Savelle Foy, and women from around the world at Icing 2016. You don't want to miss this unforgettable weekend of awesome worship, new friendships, fun-filled activities, and practical life application teaching with Terri. It's a sweet treat you don't want to miss. We'll see you at Icing 2016, October 14th and 15th at the Will Rogers Coliseum in Fort Worth, Texas. For more information and to register for this free event, visit terri.com. Don't wait. Register today.